Next up for the Illini now, the 20-year-old junior out of Lexington High School back in Lexington, Massachusetts. The 20-year-old junior, Chris Long.
Beautiful extension, beautiful form. Great moves using the whole length of the horse without the pommels. Wow, great routine so far. Illinois needs this. Nice scissor work, clean. Let's see if he can finish. And great job. Finally, Illinois gets a full set. Great job by Chris.
He was last year's academic all-10 big selection.
Look at the handwork. These are called Russian Moors, right into a tongue fei. And here's the dismount. More of the Russian Moors. Great finish.
For the man who is from Lexington, Mass, so you know he follows the Red Sox, the Patriots, and the Celtics. Trying to get his Illini teammates fired up as they open up on the horse. Next on the high bar for Coach Hayasaki, Chris Long out of Lexington, Massachusetts. In high school, he was the '05 state champion. That was in high school. Coached by Cal Booker at the Massachusetts Gymnastics Center, junior Olympic national champ.
Awesome. That was called a full twisting Takamoto. And that's a half twisting Takamoto. And a Takachev. Wow, stretch position. Beautiful. Another stoop or jam. And those giants are called inverts. Again, his hands are in that L grip, but you flick your wrists on top, that makes it an invert. See if he can finish here strong. Full twisting double out. Nice job, and he's pumped. Way to go.
The business major out of Lexington.
Watch the Takachev here. Stretched. Unbelievable difficulty. Does it beautifully.
Well, we said Illinois needed a strong finish in the last two apparatus. So far on the high bar, they've done very, very well. Chris Long right there. Junior for Yoshi and his Illini.
Give you perspective on that and tell you what kind of challenge Ohio State has. Penn State is on average score on floor is over. They need to match that Penn State score. Average score on the floor exercise. They had a hit routine. Can they match it with another hit routine? Going toe-to-toe with the national champs. Don't give anything away on those handstands. Every little thing is going to make the difference down the stretch. Double pike, and the first stuck double pike of the night, and it comes at a timely moment for the Illini making a run.
Chris Long, his season high 14.400. The Gremlins have gotten into our graphics machine for a second or two.
Well, you always got to be loose before you go. And Ivan Ivankov taking care of Chris Long here as he starts off on the rings. This is not a strength for this team. A good chance for Penn State to make up the 3 points it's down, or some of it. And a good chance for Illinois, if it puts on a good show, to hold on to that lead and maybe even lengthen it.
And he mentioned the name Ivan Ivankov, the guy lifting him up to the rings, is a legend in the sport of gymnastics, a two-time world all-around champion. Illinois very fortunate to have him on the staff.
First year here helping Yoshi Hayasaki. And did you see his biceps?
He's got biceps on his biceps.
Yeah. Oh my.
And even though swinging elements have been brought back into the mix more so on rings in recent years, it still is all about strength. So when you see the guys doing a lot of iron crosses and Malteses and inverted crosses, those are the guys that are going to get the big scores.
Long not doing a lot of fancy here, but he's trying to be clean and look out.
No, he designed a routine that fits his style of gymnastics. A lot of strength, a unique dismount, adds a half twist to that full twisting double back. And we're going to see quite a few of these tonight. Those are called Yamawakis. He does one in the pike position, one in the tuck position. And where he lacks in strength, he tries to pick up in those swinging elements.
Okay, good job in the leadoff spot for Chris Long. Chris Long now. We saw him on the pommel horse. We saw him on the rings. Now here's his vault. Long, the senior from Lexington, Mass.
And he's going to also do a Yurchenko style vault. The same vault we saw from Casey Sandy. Let's see if he can match the landing. Not quite the same landing, but it was a big vault. Now he's going to get hit on a couple aspects on that landing. He piked down quite a bit. Let's take another look at it.
He almost misses the table here.
Yeah, he's a little crooked. You can see pikes down, both feet outside of that line along with the step. Those are going to add up to a lot of execution deductions, but still a high start value should be a decent score.
Well, after Ribeiro had a career best 13.90 on the parallel bars, here's Chris Long.
And again, I mentioned quickly that Illinois averages over a point higher on parallel bars than Penn State does on high bars, so they should have a lead after this rotation. The question is, will that trend continue, and how much of a lead could they have?
Especially since Illinois is not the strongest high bar team.
Especially without their stud, Ruggieri, who's out this week, unfortunately.
Paul Ruggieri, the sophomore from Syracuse area in New York, will be back in time for the championships, but he's out of this meet.
Love it. Showing some energy. There it is, and that's how you want to do it. And I tell you what, as a gymnast, when you do that, when you stick the landing, there's no better feeling.
Here's an underrated gymnast who's had himself a pretty good meet, the senior Chris Long, who had been struggling, but he's done pretty well tonight.
Well, if Long can hit this routine, you'll be able to breathe easy, so to speak, because the Illini will be in good shape.
You did say Long will breathe easy.
I had to go there. Very dynamic. It's called the half toss. Another big Tkachev. Just dismount. Oh, out the double twisting double layout. Little trouble on the landing there, but man, his mom has got heart failure.
Mom can breathe now.
She collapsed the lung, I think. There's the big Tkachev. Does it in the laid out position. A little bit of form in the air, but plenty of air time. Here's the dismount. 2 flips, 2 twists, and actually piked down a little harder than he needed to. He had that under control.
Chris Long smiling as well he should.
From the campus of the University of Michigan here in Ann Arbor, and yet another of the Illini for head coach Yoshi Hayasaki. Chris Long out of Lexington, Massachusetts, 5'8", over on the pommel horse.
Chris coming in with a relatively low start value compared to some of the other finalists. But again, as we saw from some of the mistakes earlier, you've got to be clean. If you can be clean, you can overcome a low start value. A little bit of a coat hook on those toes, on those scissors, but other than that, pretty good routine, hanging on. Oh, a little trouble on that dismount. He will get nailed on that a little bit.
15.500 against Iowa in Iowa City earlier this year. Chris Long's best on the pommel horse. So we'll leave the